Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Khans of Tarkir Swiss draft. Look at this rare. Look at this pack. Foil Master of Pearls. Sorin. Sorin probably not worth that much anymore these days, huh? I gotta check that out actually. I mean, I'm still gonna take it, but I want to see what he's worth. He's still worth quite a bit. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, he's an awesome card too. I better get all his modes down now so I play him correctly. I think a lot of people forget the until your next turn. You just feel like it's because until your next turn is a pretty uncommon thing in Magic. Usually things are just until end of turn. So um, I actually think if this was a pro tour, you'd probably just want to slam the Master Pearls since it'd leave you more open and it's just an insane card. But I'm going to take Sorin because it's worth just a ridiculous amount. All right, well, I like easy decisions. I guess we're taking a murderous cut. What else is in here that's worth mentioning? I love Pine Walker. Huge fan of that card. Alabaster Kieran, I like it. Weapon Master's good. Force Away's good. Hooting Mandrills is fine. Throttle is good. Everything's pretty playable in here, but not quite as playable as the Murderous Cut. Okay. Kill Shot seems pretty reasonable. Get a little protection for that Sorin. There's also Throttle, but for a Planeswalker deck, I think Kill Shot's really awesome, actually. I could take the Ponyback Brigade, but I don't have to get straight into Mardu yet or anything like that. Yeah, and Kill Shot's just a fine card. I like it. It's not amazing, but does play well. Does some work. Nothing to scoff at. Sultai Scavenger is fine too. And yes, Throttle. Both of them are fine, but I like the Kill Shot here. Seems like it's a good pick for us. All right, I think it's a pretty easy Mardu Horde Chief. This has quickly become a pretty amazing card in the format, so happens to have some really nice synergy with Sorin too. In more ways than one. Attacking with my Flying Vampire and getting Raid, or +1ing and giving my dude and a token +1 and lifelink until my next turn. Both of those seem pretty good. So, Horde Chief it is. Okay, now I don't have a problem taking a Throttle. Wish Esper was a thing. I mean, Treasure Cruise is kind of what I want, just because I think that card is so good. And I hate losing against it. But I feel okay taking a Throttle here. I mean, Warbehemoth's fine too. But we can get all our removal out of the way now. I don't have a problem with that. Throttle, I'd like to get one. Seems like a decent opportunity. Not really passing all that much. Windscarred Crag would help us into a Mardu Thang. But I'm going to take the Throttle. There's a chance I could still go into Abzan. I'd like to sort of weigh my options. Well, I'd say that's the sign I was looking for. Mardu Rough Rider is pretty awesome card, so I think I'll just slam dunk that, and we'll start working on a Mardu deck of some sort. And I do see all your guys' suggestions and stuff, so feel free to leave any more comments. Or I saw the game thing or whatever that you wrote up, so I mean, I'll consider it. I don't. Yeah, I'll consider it. I'm not opposed to trying to spice some stuff up here, but I feel like spicing stuff up is better when I'm actually like, kicking ass and taking names at the format, which I am not doing. I feel like it's the Hateblade here. I like Bondkin, but Hateblade's going to help us get our Horde Chief online, and defensively it's very good for protecting Mr. Sorin. So, could also take the Tranquil Cove, which would invite a Treasure Cruise splash, but I like the Hateblade. You guys know I like Hateblade. I'm not trying to bore you with, my picks. It's just I've come to sort of I don't know. I've come to sort of play this format a certain way, and it's just the way that I see it. I don't know what it's tough to break out of that mold, if that's what you guys want. I think, yeah, Bitter Revelation's fine here. I don't have a problem with that. Could take the Tranquil Cove once again for Treasure Cruise splash, but I'd rather get some black, white, red fixing instead. So until then, I'll just take some fine playable cards. Bitter Revelation is actually a good card, so I don't have any problem taking it there. Yeah, I guess we could take a Sidisi's Pet. Not a huge fan of it, but seems fine in this deck. Certainly better than any of our other options here. Does seem like the red's getting cut, but if red's our, third color and we're splashing it essentially, I don't have a problem. I don't have any problems with it. Let me make sure our curve's a little bit more organized. Okay. Trumpet Blast doesn't really seem like that's this kind of deck. Dutiful Return is fine. Hooting Mandrills is actually a pretty reasonable card. Weapon Master's good too, but I don't want to branch out for that. I guess I'll take the return for the sideboard. It's nice to have one if you play against the... There's been a couple times where I've passed a Dutiful Return for, a better card in a different color, and then I'll get into my games and I wish I had a Dutiful Return for the sideboard, because some people just have removal.deck, in which case Dutiful Return's really good. We're getting some late green. This might be a signal to move into it. Could just take the Mardu Banner, too. We don't have a ton of morph currently, so Banner is acceptable. I mean, Loxodon's a pretty nice card. I'm going to take the Loxodon. I think it's just a better shot that we play it. Oh, I waited the thing, and I waited too long, and it did the thing. Goblin Slide with Kill Shot, Bitter Revelation, Murderous Cut, Throttle. Yeah, it's not bad. And it's red. Otherwise, what? I'm taking a Naturalize. Yeah, it's not exciting. Or a Tracker, I guess, but we'll take a Goblin Slide. Why not? All right. Well, late picks that are pretty good for us, so I can get behind probably the War Behemoth. I think Shambling Attendance is good too, but kind of want our curve to be a little bit lower. I actually do like Shambling Attendance, though. I don't want to take anything away from that card. I think Shambling Attendance is actually a better card, but I kind of want to get some... kind of want this deck to make sure that it, it's kind of doing stuff early. I've also seen some, there's been some debate on whether 18 lands are actually appropriate for this format, and I think for the most part they are. I do actually think this is, for the most part, an 18 land format. Mystic Monastery, it's pretty good. It helps us get our splash. But I think we're taking injury. It's pretty tough to deny a 2-drop kill a morph spell. So, all right. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, 18-land format. I do think it's an 18-land format. There's been times where my curve is probably low enough where I could get away with 17. But my thing is, I guess it depends on your mana base. But I think because this is such a, like a 3-color format for the most part, you really just got to make sure that you're hitting your lands and you're hitting those right colors. Bloodsoaked Champ, he's not worth anything, right? Even worth looking up. He's not worth that much. He's like less than a ticket. Could just take the Bondkin. I mean, there's a Kill Shot as well, but I'd like to lower my curve a little bit. Currently, our only red spells are a Rough Rider and a Goblin Slide, neither of which are all that important. I mean, I'd like to make Rough Rider work. It is a very good card, but Goblin Slide is not an important card at all. I mean, it looks like it has potential to actually be pretty good in this deck, but it's not essential. Obviously not essential. It's very seldom played. I think in all of my games I've maybe seen it. I think I've for sure seen it once, but that's all I can recall. Geez, I love the Death Dealer. Hate playing against it, but we're not going to take it. I think we're just taking the Nightblade. Pretty tough to deny Nightblade after just taking a Bondkin. Alabaster Kieran would be fine as well. And actually, Disowned Ancestor is kind of nice for blocking for Sorin, but let's just take the Nightblade and continue. Okay. Removal spell. There's a Ponyback Brigade. Guess we can take Brigade here. Certainly good with Sorin. Nothing else really good for us. Jeskai Student, another 2-drop, but Not that exciting. Rite of the Serpent, fine card, but I like Ponyback a little bit more, I think. And then Shambling Attendants, also fine, but we got it, what, like second to last in the last pack, so whatever. Let's take a Ponyback. Ooh. I think it's an easy Nomad Outpost. It's kind of a gift, actually. Jeez, multiple Kin Tree invocations. It's a good card. Deceptively good. Let's stick with the Mardu then. Let's not do the Loxodon plan. I'll consider Goblin Slide for now, but I would prefer to not play it. I'd also prefer to not play Sidisi's Pet, but I mean I will if I have to. Yeah, I think it's an easy Outpost. Not much to say. Okay, so Summit Prowler's a card, but on Splash, significantly worse. Could just take the Banner here. Could take the Blossoming Sands for like a green splash, but I don't think Woolly Loxodon's really worth a splash. I mean, you can, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm not opposed to taking Banner here. I mean, it is an on-color Banner, and I don't think that we're playing any of these other cards. I don't think it's likely. Otherwise, I take Blossoming Sands in case there's a green card I want to splash, but I really don't feel like we're going to have to splash. I'm going to take the Banner. All right. Well, kind of getting rewarded for taking the Banner, actually, because now I can take this Pony back and be a little less, not need the outposts or lands as much with the Banner. So that's kind of nice. This deck's coming together well. I mean, we have Sorin. So our removal looks good. Our creatures look, oh, I guess we're pretty low on creatures, but they look good. Okay, options now. Well, I guess we take a second throttle. If our curve's a little bit higher, it's not a huge deal because we can just, we were going to run 18 lands anyway, so if you have a high curve, you feel, it always feels more justified in playing a higher curve. That's, I mean, Aerialist is a good card. Let's take the throttle. I think it's, I'm okay with playing double throttle. I feel like I really don't want to play 3 throttle, so I hope it doesn't come to that. I'm willing to play a Swiftwing. It seems like our deck could use some cheaper cards. And First Strike's not bad. It's not a great card, admittedly, but it does have evasion. Flying is very good in this format. First Strike's very good, so I don't have any real big issues with. Oh, I'm gonna get the third throttle. I could just take the Mastodon. He's got a big butt. We could take the third throttle and really focus on being a Goblin Slide deck, but geez, Goblin Slide's not that good of a card. I guess it's kind of cool with Sorin, but honestly, I probably end up going for it. I could just take the Mastodon, but I'm not a huge Mastodon fan. I think I like throttle more. I know I just said I wouldn't take 3, but what can I say? I lied. Disdainful Stroke. I don't want him countering our Sorin, so. Otherwise, I could take the Tormenting Voice. Tormenting Voice is a deceptively good card for delve spells you may or may not have, but I don't think it's likely we splash it, so get rid of that stupid Disdainful Stroke. I'm tired of that card. Warbehemoth. We'll take it and likely play it. I don't think we're playing the Rakshasa Secret, so we'll just sideboard it. We'll let somebody play Lens of Clarity. I've yet to see that card played. All right, we're on to the final pack here, and I think it's a pretty easy Seeker of the Way. I'm a huge Debilitating Injury fan, but Seeker of the Way is actually just phenomenally good in this deck. There's actually nothing about Seeker of the Way that's bad in this deck. The life link, obviously good, but the prowess is insane, and we're desperately, not desperately, but I really would not mind having a couple more 2-drops. So, yes, I'm actually taking the Seeker over the Injury. We're short on creatures as well. I like the Ruthless Ripper. I'm a big fan of that card. I've had to pass it a lot recently, which kind of makes me sad, but I think Seeker just does a lot of work. What can I say? Seeker is a real workhorse card. Okay. Um, Deflecting Palm. Did anybody else see Conley Wood's, it's almost like a burn control deck, and it's currently screwed up. It's bugged on Magic Online, which is kind of crazy, but it has to do with the, I wish I knew the name of the card, but it's a 5-drop red enchantment with flash that gives everything double strike, or everything basically deals double damage. So with Deflecting Palm, what's ridiculous is the damage source comes in, it's doubled. Deflecting Palm sends it back with ×4 damage, but unfortunately on Magic Online it's glitched where it prevents the damage and then deals the damage back instead of, you don't get to choose the way that it orders it on the stack yet. So when you can, you're going to be able to deal ×4 damage back. It's pretty insane. It's really ridiculous. It looks like such a janky deck, and then I watched him play it, and it was like, wow, I think I can actually win. I'm taking the Hate Blade if me taking the Hate Blade didn't make that readily apparent enough. I think we actually want the Bloodfell Caves here. What am I passing for it, though? Nothing of substance. A Bringlow, but not that exciting on the splash, and we're doing good on removal. We already have a Bitter Revelation. Bloodfell Caves it is. Okay. Now, I don't mind taking Witness of the Ages. I think we likely play it. What do I cut for it, though? Let's cut the banner. Don't need it. Not with 18 lands. So this, I'd still have to make another cut, because this is an 18 land deck here. I gotta be honest, guys, I kind of want to ditch the Goblin Slide, but I guess I'll leave it in for now. I might be able to convince myself to possibly try and make it work. Horde Chief versus Watcher of the Roost. I think I like the Horde Chief more. I like Watcher of the Roost. It's a cool card, but Horde Chief seems better, especially with Sorin. We don't have a lot of other stuff that really rewards us for Horde Chief, but I think it's just a better card. 2/3 bodies are pretty nice in this format, so take it. I do think we're officially out of the, especially with the Feet of Resistance. Yeah, we're out of the Goblin Slide plan. Sorry, guys. And I don't think we're doing the Sidisi's Pet either, just because I'm not a big fan. It's not a bad card. I just don't really want it. And I still have to make a cut. So maybe the Swiftwing can get the axe, although we do have double Horde Chief now, so I don't know. Swiftwing's not a very good card, though. Kind of want to just cut that. Seems like the weakest link. I guess we do have a lot of Morph, but we're running 18 lands, so we get rewarded for all of this. Yeah, I think it's an easy feat. So let's replace it with Swiftwing and Like Christmas. We're given a Windscarred Crag, which is fantastic. It's really going to help this mana base a lot. And not really giving up much of substance. Krumar Bondkin is playable, but currently good on the morphs and the 3-drops in general. And Dazzling Ramparts, not a big fan of that card. It would be infinitely better if you could block and tap with it somehow, but unfortunately you cannot. Maybe if it was like 6 mana to tap a creature or something and it was a 0/7, it'd be much better, I think. Here, I gotta be honest, I kind of want to hate the Treasure Cruise. Despise can be a good card, though. My rule of thumb is take the sideboard card over take the hate pick, but to be honest, I really hate losing against Treasure Cruise, so I'm just going to take it. Sage Eye Harrier, not really going to be necessary in here. We've already got our deck made, and it's not going to upgrade anything that I can see in here. So let's just hate the best card, which could be... I actually don't think Act is all that great against us since we have the token generators, so I don't really care about Act. I guess Glacial Stalker or Trumpet Blast could be the best. Glacial Stalker is a fine card. I'll hate that. Could hate the 2-drop, which is reasonable. I think War Shrieker is probably a better card. I don't think we're playing it, doesn't really seem necessary on the splash. We're a little bit short on creatures in this deck, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I don't think it's a huge deal. Alright, I guess I'll take Active Treason here. It's the best card remaining. Snowhorn Rider is a pretty reasonable card, but I don't have any anti-artifacts or enchantments, do I? I'm going to take the Erase. It's a nice card to have against the Ascendancies. I guess I'll take Briber's Purse, but not playing it. Sure, Scheming, and okay. So we've got our deck built already. Just need to add lands. I think we're easily good with 4 sources of red, so I'll just add 1 mountain. And then we're primarily white with some black, so I imagine our mana base will be something like, let's see, let's group separate. Oh, and Sorin kind of counts as a creature, right? Since he produces them. Yeah, I'm going to count it like that. It's a great deck, I think. It's a very good deck. Triple Throttle. Yeah, Triple Throttle is pretty ridiculous, but, I mean, hey, -4/-4 is pretty good. Nothing to scoff at. So we have a black source already, got a white source already, we have all 3. So I only need 1 mountain, which means I can pretty easily go, what is this? This would be 10 sources white, 8 sources black, 4 sources red. Let me do a color real quick, look at the color. So we do have more white than black, but I mean, we do need both. Could just make it an even split of the black and white. I mean, we don't have that much more white than black. I don't mind making it even. I guess all of our early stuff's white, though, so we do really, yeah, all of our late stuff's black, all of our early stuff's white. So it does actually make sense to run 10 sources of white, I think. Let's make sure I'm doing maths correctly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sources white. Eight sources black, and yeah, 4 sources red. Yep, looks good to me. I like the deck. Got a good curve. Keep in mind these are all morph. 18 lands seems justified since we have all of these morph spells and we're 3 color. Yeah, because like if you think this is all right, I'll try and explain why I think this is an 18 land format. Yes, you can think of these guys as 3 drops, but they're Grey Ogres as 3 drops. So really think of the deck as like this many. This is how many cards are going to, I guess Murderous Cut doesn't have to, but this is how many cards are going to really require us to get to 5 to really capitalize on them. So if you think about it that way, I think that's the main reason why 18 lands seems right. Also, we have the Bitter Revelation again to really help mitigate some of that mana flood we could get. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with the deck. I think it looks nice. It looks like it can do some work. We got a Sorin, so even if I get my butt kicked, I'm going to walk away with a little bit of money. So that's good news. All right, run it like this. We'll see you round 1.